Oh hey, my name's Ryan, and today we're gonna front squat, snatch, grip, Romanian deadlift, and do some abs. Here we go. Take this guy for a quick little walk, and I'll see you when I get back. Hey, I'm back. I don't know if you can see that little 17-minute walk just to get the juices flowing. Training warm-up montage like Rocky before we get going. Yeah! Getting stronger, getting fit now. I don't know actually what they say right there. Getting yoked now, getting jacked now. Training montage, doing stuff in front of the camera, 'cause it looks cool. Enough of this tomfoolery. Let's lift some weights. Starting off with some front squats here. Maybe do like 3 sets. Shooting for anywhere from 5 to 8 reps. We'll figure it out as we go. No shot I'm gonna be able to get in the front rack with just the bar. So if that's you and you're like me, and just lacking mobility in your upper body, don't be afraid or don't be worried that you can't get in a front rack right at the beginning if you're trying to front squat. Your freaking meat is just getting in the way, number one. And then number two, as you get more weight on the bar, it will literally squish you down into front rack. So just keep going. More weight is gonna help. Secondarily, if you're struggling with front rack, put on some straps, just like this. Wrap it just once. Take your fingertips of your pointer finger and your middle finger, place it underneath the bar, right? Push your elbows up, and those straps somehow, some way are gonna help you maintain a really good front rack. See? Oh shoot. I don't know why it works, but it does. Trust me. 2 freaking plates here. Oh yeah, feeling good. Put some freaking weight on the bar, okay? Let's go 365 for our first set, and we'll take it from there. I do have something I want to talk about today from a training perspective, but before we get into that, let's smash this first set. So it's most likely that, well, it's definitely so, that you're viewing training from a specific mindset. In that, like, the style of training that you do is shaping the way that you view training. And if you're just getting into training, or even if you've trained for quite some time, there's a high possibility that you are viewing training from a bodybuilding specific mindset. Number one, because you're a bodybuilder and you want to be better at bodybuilding, or you want to maximize hypertrophy. And number two, if you're just getting into training, it seems like that's where everyone starts. That's where I started, right? You just want to get as jacked as possible. You want to get as big as possible. And so you tend to focus more on bodybuilding circles and what those people are talking about, and that's where you're getting your information. And let me preface what I'm going to say next with saying that's awesome, right? Any training style is pretty much, any training at all is better than no training, right? So I would always rather have someone train than not train. And if that is what you want to do, by all means, keep doing it. But if that's the only perspective you've ever viewed training from, and you aren't necessarily so focused on maximizing every single part of your program for hypertrophy, I'd recommend that you view training from a more general perspective. And here's the main reasoning behind that. The way that bodybuilding style training is being pushed today is like almost from an entirely scientific background. And we're getting so far into the weeds in terms of what you need to do to optimize your program to maximize hypertrophy that we have lost the ability to communicate what good general training is for 95% of the public. And just to give you an example, a lot of the content you'll see now on social media is, well, I should be doing this exercise over all the other ones because it maximizes hypertrophy through increasing stability, right? And allowing you to recruit as many motor units within that specific muscle as possible. So for example, I'm doing a front squat. There's been a few recent videos of people of bodybuilding style fitness influencers scoffing at the front squat and calling it a terrible quad exercise. And it's like, is it really? Sure, there are better options out there in terms of maximizing hypertrophy for the quads, such as the leg press, where stability is a non-factor, and it's going to allow you to pretty much recruit every motor unit possible if you're somewhat trained and you push it to a relatively intense degree. But it's like that conversation matters only if your main goal, and really your only goal, is to push hypertrophy to the absolute limit. And bodybuilding is your sole objective. Like, then I can see the case for that for sure. But for everyone else who just wants to generally train and have fun doing it, I definitely recommend you take a step back and you just try everything, especially in terms of exercise selection. Try squatting, try front squatting, try back squatting, try high bar squatting, try doing the leg press, try knee extensions, try lunges, try it all. And I wouldn't focus so much on the nuance, because at the end of the day, if I had you do a program with a lot of variance, but you're still pushing it hard, versus a program where you're only maximizing the nuances of hypertrophy, I doubt that you would notice a significant difference between the two in terms of the amount of muscle gained. But what you're going to gain from all that variance is just so much more coordination, enjoyment, and you're going to develop a large training skill set where you can do, every exercise under the sun. That's the main point that I want to get at. And it feels like we're missing the forest for the trees kind of thing, especially when considering 90% of the population just needs to get in the gym and train. However, set number 2, I'm going to keep it at 365 today. Let's just do 3 sets of 5. Still recovering from that back sprain that I had a couple weeks ago. And although I've recovered tremendously in these 2 weeks, still just want to continue building a tolerance and not push it too crazy hard just yet. Secondarily, you might be missing out on some really fun and beneficial training if you're only viewing training from the bodybuilding perspective. Most likely, if you're doing bodybuilding specific training, you're probably not jumping, sprinting, doing Olympic lifts, doing a whole lot of, front squatting or back squatting. Really fun stuff that is not only fun in and of itself, but it's fun to get better at it because they're skills, particularly Olympic lifting, right? And again, I have to preface this by saying, you know what, if you have fun doing bodybuilding specific training and you absolutely love feeling the pump, feeling the burn, just locking in on that mind-muscle connection, and that's what gets you going, then who am I to tell you to train differently? That's awesome, keep doing you. But on that same token, if you've never gotten after Olympic lifting and done some power cleans on a Monday night after a long day of work, right? Blasting some Creed or Limp Bizkit. I mean, you're missing out on that too, and that's a lot of fun. So I definitely encourage you to pursue other training avenues because it's fun. It's fun. Training variously is fun. All right, last set here. Feeling pretty good. Let's continue blowing this up, and we'll move on. All right, moving on to snatch grip, Romanian deadlifts here. Sprained my back. Sprained, strained. Can you sprain your back? I don't know. Doing deficit deadlifts. So I'm gonna keep hinging and its intensity at a minimum here. Let's go 2 sets, really focus on a slow tempo, not go too heavy, not worry about RP, just reintroduce that movement. Feel good about hinging again before I start pushing it. And so with that being said, I feel like snatch grip is a good place to start because I won't be able to use as much weight. I'll be able to increase that range of motion to whatever degree I want to tolerate, right? Or feel like I can tolerate. So if I want to stop it shorter, I can, or if I want even more, I can go for even more. Feels great. Good to go. Let's throw a red on, and that would be like what, 242? And go for 2 sets. Almost done with Aches and Pains Volume 1 by Louis Guilford, and in one of the later chapters I really liked an anecdotal piece he was talking about. He was working with a patient who was having severe, maybe not severe, but aching toe pain, and he was honest with the patient and was like, look man, I don't know specifically what we can do at this moment to rehabilitate it, but what I do want you to do is on your own time, try to find some movement, try to do something to make your toe feel good, particularly if it's movement. And I think what the guy ended up doing was like walking, he might have lived on a river, and he walked around in the mud and like got on a kayak and started moving around, and the mud made his foot feel good. And the message behind this is, if you've got a particular place, particular group, particular muscle group, or particular joint in your body that is just sort of nagging, try to find something, try to find some kind of movement that's going to make it feel good, even if it's not like from a rehabilitation perspective. And so I say that to say, I want these snatch grip Romanian deadlifts to feel good. I don't care about it being intense or anything like that. I want it to feel good on my back, and I'm going to try to perceive it as that. And in doing so, that could potentially help with the nagging pain, in that I'm not only perceiving that specific place as a point of injury, and like I'm not only consciously thinking about it in a worrisome state, like I feel good about it, right? And it's good to feel good about it. Excellent. All right, last thing I'll talk about. Centered around the topic for this video. I know that I've enjoyed my training and had more fun with it since I've started viewing training and each day in regards to it being like a movement specific day. Like maybe Monday is clean and jerk day and Friday is squat day, or even taking that a step further, and because of the nature of the exercises that I'm using, like let's say those more intense exercises, like the clean and jerk or snatch or sprinting or high bar back squat or deadlift. If it's any combination of those exercises on one day, I'm going to call that a high day. And this is something that I've talked about on my Instagram a lot. And I know that I need to gear up in a different manner psychologically for those high days. Whereas on another day, or a medium or low day, and it's not consisting of so many of those exercises, maybe just one at a low intensity, or maybe just more aerobic based cardio, or even just like bodybuilding accessories. I don't have to gear up as high for those days psychologically, and they just have a different feel to them. And that helps me orient myself towards these sessions and the week better. Like typically Monday and Friday are high days, then Wednesday or Saturday or Wednesday and Thursday are medium to low days. And that's what my week looks like. Whereas if it's just bodybuilding specific, it tends to be, well, today's a push day or a pull day or a legs day, or even, you know, a quad day or bicep and shoulders and triceps day or whatever. And although you definitely could get more nuanced to that in terms of how you're perceiving those sessions, I feel like there's definitely not as much to work with in terms of how you can organize those days in your head in terms of what they're going to be like. And I just personally enjoy the former better. Just doing that part of the end because it's fun. That's good. It's the first time I've hinged with weight since my back injury, and I feel really good about that. Let's do a little bit of abs and we're done. Tried these the other day with straps and felt absolutely incredible. I mean, there's only so long I can hold on to a bar with my body weight, and this just takes that out of the equation, allows me to focus on whatever it is I'm trying to do and not tax my forearms. So much better. Let's do 2 sets. Feeling good about that work today. Feel like I'm heading the right direction with my back. And just to summarize, how you're perceiving training from like a macro view, whether that be bodybuilding focus or athletically focused or just generally focused, it's impacting how you're actually experiencing that training. And it's definitely worth pursuing how you want your experience with training to be. And that's probably the essence behind what it means to find training that works for you. Training is fun.